shipping season.
Pass it safely and get out of the way.
Now get financing less than 1% a year or $2,000 cash back on a 98 Chevy Blazer at your Chevrolet dealers Northwest.
There's no comparison.
We're talking Chevrolet.
Live from the Z100 Morning Zoo tomorrow at 9.
On World News Tonight this Tuesday, the voice of Monica Lewinsky. The conversations she thought were private.
I'm never going to come forward with this.
Unusual strains on the U.S. economy. Why the Federal Reserve cuts the interest rates again. And the 600 satellites we depend on for so many reasons. How much danger are they in today? There's been a meteor storm up there. We'll take a closer look.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening. Now we know what Monica Lewinsky sounds like. This will not qualify as a vital day in history, even in the recent troubled history of the Clinton presidency. Still, after all these months, the public may now put another piece of the Monica Lewinsky jigsaw puzzle into place. The House Judiciary Committee released dozens of tapes of Miss Lewinsky's recorded conversations with Linda Tripp, recorded by Miss Tripp. We've seen the transcripts of all the conversations before, but here today were 22 hours of conversation that Miss Lewinsky certainly never believed the whole country would be listening to. From Washington, ABC's Jackie Judd.
The many voices of Monica Lewinsky talking to a woman she believed was her friend. At times, she sounds naive.
I never expected to feel this way about him.
Other times, cunning.
I have lied my entire life.
And sometimes like a lovesick girl dazzled by the President of the United States.
First time I ever looked into his eyes close up and was with him alone, I saw somebody totally different than I had expected to see. And that's the person I fell in love with.
2 weeks after that conversation, Lewinsky is desperate. Mr. Clinton is not returning her calls and has not brought her back to work at the White House.
I can't take it anymore. I know.
Oh, my God.
It's too much for one person.
Oh, it is too much for one person. Yes, it is.
Linda Tripp's sympathy is not all it seems. Not only is she secretly recording the conversations, on one occasion, Tripp hangs up with Lewinsky and a short while later calls Lucy Ann Goldberg, the Republican operative who told Tripp to tape in the first place.
Oh, things are hitting the fan over there with her.
Really?
You know what she said on tape last night to me?
What?
I think he's on drugs.
Wow. You got it on
Yep.
tape? Good for you.
Tripp also convinces Lewinsky that she must keep the dress that was stained during a sexual encounter with the president.
The navy blue dress. Now, all I would say to you is the future is a blank slate. I don't know what will happen. I would rather you had that in your possession if you need it years from now.
Weeks later, Lewinsky frantically tries to convince Tripp that they can both lie under oath about Lewinsky's affair with the president and get away with it.
They could bring somebody up, and all I have to say is, look, it didn't happen. This person is politically motivated. But assume, look, there's no one. Nobody saw anything, so nobody can know.
Last January, not knowing that Tripp had begun cooperating with prosecutors, Lewinsky confides in her friend that she has signed an affidavit denying she had a sexual relationship with the president.
I will not get in trouble because you know what? The story I've signed under oath is what someone else is saying under oath.
Who?
He will.
Oh, the big guy.
So
Well, of
there
course.
are people that have said nothing happened.
The next day, Lewinsky and Tripp have their final conversation at this mall. Then FBI agents move in. Lewinsky's final words to Tripp are, "Thanks a lot." Jackie Judd, ABC News, Washington.
One other note, the independent counsel Kenneth Starr will testify before the House Judiciary Committee on Thursday, and the Republicans will allow White House lawyers to question Mr. Starr. The House Democratic leader says Democrats may not show up if they do not like what's going on. So, On the money tonight, also from Washington, the Federal Reserve has done it again. For the third time in 7 weeks, the discount rate, which is what the central bank charges commercial banks for overnight loans, was cut 1/4 point to 4.5%. And the federal funds rate was also cut 1/4 point to 4.75%. That's the rate that commercial banks are allowed to charge one another for overnight loans. What does it mean? Here's ABC's Bob Jamieson.
Analysts said the decision by Chairman Alan Greenspan and other Federal Reserve policymakers was a close call because the economy is still growing steadily and unemployment remains low. But the Fed is worried about the continuing impact of Asia's economic troubles, particularly on U.S. manufacturers, which are selling less overseas and cutting jobs.
Manufacturing has seen declines in its job creation over the last 7 months, and they're operating at levels that are close to recessionary. And I think the Fed wanted to make sure that this problem didn't spread throughout the economy.
And while the credit crunch that prevented many businesses from borrowing earlier in the fall has begun to ease, the rate cut should ensure that companies can get banks and the bond market to give them the money they need to expand and create new jobs. The Fed move had little effect on the stock market. It lost almost 25 points for the day. But since the Fed's sudden second rate cut in October, the market has not only stabilized, but the Dow Jones Industrial Average has gained almost 18%. One thing today's Federal Reserve action is not likely to help is the interest rates on mortgages. There is so much demand now for mortgages and refinancing that those rates may remain unchanged. Bob Jamieson, ABC News, New York.
Still on the money, inflation remains under control. The consumer price index was up just 0.2%. Last month, energy prices are down nearly 9% this year. In fact, the average price across the country of regular unleaded gas is 99 cents. The Energy Department says that oil prices will stay low well into the next decade. The oil-producing nations continue to pump so much. And they are not using as much oil in Asia because of economic bad times there. So there is a lot of oil to be had more cheaply. And here's a depressing item. Employees at the Internal Revenue Service have been stealing some of your money. An audit by the government's General Accounting Office finds that in 2.5 years, some IRS employees stole $5.3 million sent in by the taxpayers. In one instance, a check made out to the IRS was altered to read I.R. Smith. Coming up, will the U.S. make more of an effort to overthrow Saddam Hussein? It all depends.
This is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Brought to you by Lockheed Martin.
The U.S. Postal Service, with new automated systems from Lockheed Martin, is speeding the delivery of billions of pieces of mail and the occasional birthday present from Uncle Will. Interestingly, Lockheed Martin is also building America's next generation of fighter planes, which means we not only help deliver the present, but the future.
A new study has shown that 3 cups of Cheerios whole grain oats a day added to a low-fat diet can actually help reduce your cholesterol. Just think of them as little life preservers, the one and only Cheerios, to help reduce your cholesterol.
I'm in pain, so much pressure, I just can't focus.
Mom, it's 13 minutes to 6:60.
Kevin, just give me a minute.
Mom, you okay?
Now clear the sinus pain with Tavist Sinus Gel Caps. It's new. It goes beyond pain relievers like extra-strength Tylenol to not only relieve pain, but unclog the congestion that may cause the sinus pain. So you're clear-headed again.
Can you say that again?
Why suffer sinus pain? Be clear-headed, clear through your day with new Tavist Sinus Gel Caps.
More than 80 United Nations weapons inspectors went back into Iraq today. One of Saddam Hussein's generals said that Iraq will do its best to cooperate with them, but he also said, naturally, there are limits. The subject of what to do about Saddam Hussein is still very much front and center for the national security establishment today. What to do or what to try. Now that President Clinton has said pretty clearly the U.S. will work to bring about a leadership change in Iraq. The Congress has made it clear there's at least $100 million there to be spent, but who knows enough about what might work? From the Pentagon, ABC's John McWethy.
All the high-level talk of overthrowing Saddam Hussein is music to the ears of the Iraqi opposition, especially Ahmed Shalabi, who has been pleading for U.S. support for years.
This response is more effective than the bombing campaign, and it gets right to the heart of the problem. Saddam is the problem. He cannot be part of the solution.
Shalabi's proposal, which he has presented to Congress, is for the U.S. to declare the western, southern, and northern parts of Iraq no-fly and no-drive zones for Iraq's military. This would, in theory, create safe havens for those wanting to join an opposition army. It would be enforced, Shalabi says, with U.S. bombers, not ground troops. The problem with all such plans is the ruthless way Saddam Hussein has dealt with deserters and dissidents in the past. Even those who support his overthrow believe American air power alone could not adequately protect those people.
Clearly, if you were to have a credible program for removal of Saddam Hussein, it's going to involve U.S. ground troops in due course.
But U.S. military officials are vehemently opposed to any plan that might draw American troops or planes into a civil war. The U.S. also faces the problem of exactly whom to support.
The opposition abroad is split into numerous factions, warring against each other. The two major elements are not credible, and they have no support whatever inside the country.
Despite such major concerns, the Clinton administration is carefully exploring ways to strengthen and unify the Iraqi opposition to see if it can do, with a little bit of help, what American bombs never could. John McWethy, ABC News, the Pentagon.
Another item on what it is costing the U.S. to stay on Saddam Hussein's case. We pointed out yesterday he was expensive. Today, the Pentagon says that since the end of the Gulf War, the U.S. has spent nearly $7 billion on what they call contingency costs. That's in addition to what it costs for a permanent military presence in the region. When we come back, what it's like to be in the middle of a meteor storm. We'll take a closer look.
The AIM Investor Pop Quiz. I should panic if interest rates rise, technology stocks fall, my daughter starts liking boys. Peace of mind comes from investing with discipline. AIM Mutual Funds.
If you could leave just a little bit over at every meal, it would really add up.
Imagine what you could avoid eating in a single month. If you're significantly overweight, 30 pounds or more, depending on height, the doctor has something that may help you eat less.
It's called Meridia, and it can help you lose weight and keep it off. You've got to do your part. You've got to do your part with diet and exercise. But Meridia can help.
Meridia is a prescription medicine, and it's not for everyone. It can substantially raise blood pressure, and it's not for people who are pregnant or nursing, under 16, or taking anything else for weight loss, depression, Parkinson's disease, migraines, or for people with anorexia, glaucoma, or serious heart problems. Side effects may include headache, constipation, insomnia, and dry mouth. It's a controlled substance, so patients who abuse Meridia may become dependent. For more information, ask your doctor or call 1-888-4-MERIDIA.
I'm ready.
Meridia. You do your part, we'll do ours.
When they said the world didn't need another nose strip, we said, oh yeah? How about making one that's contoured for a good fit, giving it a centering bump so you know where to place it, and using a skin-friendly adhesive? Introducing Clear Passage, an ergonomically advanced nose strip designed to relieve the symptoms of nasal congestion. Oh, and one last thing. How about having it made by the maker of Afrin Nasal Spray, the people who know more about the nose than anyone? New Clear Passage. We know noses.
The AIM Investor Pop Quiz. You've got a long retirement ahead. You should learn to live on $100 a week. Move in with your kids. Take a swim. Have peace of mind. Call your financial consultant about AIM Mutual Funds.
We're going to take a closer look tonight at the very intense meteor storm that has been raging above our heads all day. Depending on the weather, it was possible to get a glimpse of what happens when the Earth passes through the tail of the meteor Tempel Tuttle. In parts of Asia, especially outside the cities, the view was quite good. In the U.S., the storm was somewhat more visible in the west. In Norway, many people who saw this called the emergency service, thinking these were distress signals from boats in trouble. A lot of people out there. These are actually thousands and thousands of cosmic dust particles crashing into the Earth's atmosphere. It is a very rare chance for scientists to study the makeup of comets and meteors. Maybe this is how life came to this planet in the first place. Today, the maybe was, maybe this storm will mess up the way we live nowadays. Here's ABC's Ned Potter.
It was the fall of 1966, and amid the usual earthly concerns, few people much cared that we passed through a stream of dust left by the comet Tempel-Tuttle.
It's like a garden hose of material following the parent comet, and the Earth just brushes by it.
The only effect on most Earthlings was a show, a meteor shower, just like the ones that happen several times a year. But now it's 1998, and as Tempel-Tuttle makes another pass, it finds the Earth a very different place. Today there are 600 satellites in orbit, up from a few dozen back then, passing through the comet's debris. People depend on those satellites for all sorts of routinely crucial things.
They may be going into a gas station to swipe their credit card. They may be going to an ATM machine. All of these systems, and many of these systems, depend on satellite-based communications.
We use satellites to spy on Iraq, to send TV and telephone signals, to transmit financial data. Most astronomers said the comet dust is so spread out that the odds were against its hitting any satellites. But it's also speeding by at 43 miles a second, and a speck of dust at those speeds creates an electric charge around itself. So just one hitting a satellite would be like a lightning bolt.
To not take it seriously and to have something happen to your satellite would not be a smart move.
It's a tough universe out there. This meteor storm ends just as the sun is beginning a storm of its own. Every decade or so, it has a surge in solar flares, giant radiation storms that reach the Earth and beyond. Is it meaningless to us on Earth? Not at all. In 1989, a flare zapped a switching station and cut power to most of eastern Canada.
Isn't this beautiful? It can only happen in Quebec.
Actually, it can now happen anywhere. In this age of delicate electronics, we've become surprisingly vulnerable to forces far out in space. Today, to reduce the chances they'd get hit, hundreds of satellites flew with their fragile solar panels turned edge-on to the stream of comet dust, the only defense they had against the random violence of the universe. Ned Potter, ABC News, New York.
So far, we haven't heard any news about real damage from today's storms. As Ned said, some precautions were taken. The Hubble Space Telescope was turned so that its mirrors faced away from the incoming meteors. But as more satellites go up and we become more dependent on them, ABC's Tom Foreman reports that NASA is trying to come up with more effective ways to protect them.
10, 9,
Out on the
8.
windswept Colorado plains,
We're ready.
scientists working for NASA are recreating a dramatic moment in space.
Press the start button.
That instant when a meteoroid collides with a satellite.
Excellent. Excellent.
Joel Williamson is determining if lightweight aluminum foam can be used to shield satellites from such impacts, and his results are striking. Look at what happens when he fires a small aluminum pellet through standard satellite shielding made of plate aluminum. The bullet rips right through.
And you can see we've got a lot of damage to the rear wall from pieces of debris that have come off this plate.
But high-speed photos tell a very different story when the same kind of pellet hits less than an inch of aluminum foam. Even though the pellet is traveling 20 times the speed of sound, it rips, tears, and essentially disintegrates.
It breaks that particle up quite a bit better, and you can see it just places a fine field of aluminum spray over the front of that target space.
What's more, the aluminum foam weighs 20% less than standard shielding, and it can double as a type of space radiator to get rid of excess heat on board the satellite. All that makes engineers hopeful they can reduce the danger to satellites by the next time the Leonid shower comes around. Tom Foreman, ABC News, Denver.
In a moment, down to earth again, why so many more college students are smoking.
Before you do this or this or this, you want to have this and this and this.
You'd be surprised how much of our technology goes into your day.
So for this or this or this.
We're Siemens.
We can do that.
Announcing an amazing discovery. One-A-Day has combined the power of herbs with vitamins to help you during the cold season, support your mood, even memory. New from One-A-Day. Just what you need
to feel your best.
Dennis looks left and rolls right. Hits a pass to Broadway.
I'm gonna call Pete.
Hey, make sure you dial 10-10-321 first.
Why?
Because it saves me moolah.
Really?
Yeah, and it's half price for all calls over 20 minutes.
Half price? That's a lot. What about monthly fees?
No fees, no hidden charges. Here, look how low my phone bill is.
Wow, 10-10-321 does save a lot.
Don't bother calling.
Why not?
You just lost.
Dial 10-10-321.
Max is a Mighty Dog. That's why he gets new Mighty Dog carved beef and gravy. Tender slices and savory gravy to give Max all the energy he needs. New Mighty Dog carved beef and carved beef with pasta. Mighty Dog from Friskies.
I'll see you.
Hi, man. Me too.
Me too. Ah, the credit card game. We've all played it.
I'll go 5.9%.
That an intro rate?
Yeah.
First, you get a great introductory rate, but then it goes up.
So you'll raise us to 17.9% in 6 months?
Yeah.
But now, if you have good credit, you can win the credit card game.
Let's make it interesting.
I'm out.
I'm out.
Too rich for my blood.
I'll call.
With the 9.9% fixed rate Visa Platinum card from Capital One.
That's a great hand.
It's not an introductory rate, and with no annual fee, all the perks of Platinum and a low fixed rate, you may never have to switch cards again. Act now. Call 1-800-CAPITAL and start saving hundreds, even thousands of dollars a year. Call 1-800-CAPITAL. Apply today for the 9.9% fixed rate Visa Platinum from Capital One. In the credit card game, it's the winning card.
There's another major report today about smoking in young people. Smoking on college campuses is up 28% from 5 years ago. 1 in every 4 college students now smokes. It was only yesterday that 8 of the states and the tobacco companies made a deal which would allow the companies to go on advertising cigarettes pretty widely. Here's ABC's Barry Seraphin.
Until now, college students were considered less likely to smoke than others their age. In general, more education has meant less smoking. But the new survey indicates that college students are just as susceptible as anyone else to the pressure that starts long before they get to campus.
We might say that the kids who grew up with Joe Camel are now in college with Camels, Marlboros, and Newports.
I was about 14 and all my friends smoked. I started smoking and now it's just habit.
And the problem gets worse when they get to the campus. More than 1/4 of student smokers do not start smoking regularly until they get to college. One reason, tobacco companies increasingly promote cigarettes at bars, music, and social events frequented by students.
They target our generation. They target ads that are geared toward college students.
Researchers found more smoking at all types of colleges and among all student groups, regardless of age, sex, or race.
It's there, it's strong, it's across the board, and something needs to be done about it.
Wexler and others are calling for more restrictions on smoking in dorms, more anti-smoking education, and more campus health programs to help students stop smoking. Barry Seraphin, ABC News, Washington.
What appears to be a setback for Microsoft today, a federal judge has ordered Microsoft to change its Windows 98 system within 90 days or pull it from the market. A Microsoft competitor, Sun Microsystems, persuaded the judge that Microsoft had probably improperly tampered with a program made by Sun called Java. There'll be more on that tomorrow. When we come back this evening, marketing for the ages.
The North Star system. Performance and technology that set Cadillac apart from every other luxury car in the world. Now experience the difference during the Cadillac Performance Drive with the 1999 DeVille, the world's only full-size luxury car with the power and agility of the North Star system. Now just $499 a month. A powerful way to set yourself apart during the Cadillac Performance Drive. See your Cadillac dealer today.
You're short of breath. There's pain in your chest. You may be having a heart attack. Now, what do? Call an ambulance. Good. And take Bayer aspirin. It's now been proven that aspirin can do more than help prevent second heart attacks.
Now, Bayer may actually help stop you from dying if you take it during a heart attack. Talk to your doctor now. Do you know where your Bayer is? Bayer, powerful pain relief, and so much more.
55. What'll it be?
We'll take some rice and...
Get some farf, too.
Yeah.
Now you can choose which teams you see every Sunday with DirecTV and NFL Sunday Ticket. There's up to 13 regular season games a week.
Right check on farm.
Hey, Brett. Hey, John.
So stock up on all your favorites. NFL Sunday Ticket. It's not on cable. See it on DirecTV. So what are you looking at?
Get the last 6 weeks of NFL Sunday Ticket free when you get DirecTV.
One of our own is in need of a heart transplant.
Tonight,
I'm worried about Bobby, Doctor.
sometimes all you can do is pray.
Please don't let him die.
All new NYPD Blue ABC tonight. Viewer discretion advised.
Steve Dunn next on Channel 2 News. Determined burglars break into a home by tearing a hole in a wall while a family's inside. And see why booking a holiday flight early may not be insurance that you'll be on it when it takes off. Next.
Finding from us this evening trying to cash in on the millennium. Last night we focused on the minor debate about when the millennium will be. We pretty much agreed it'll be 2000, not 2001. And we touched on the significance of the millennium for many Christians. Tonight, the significance for those who are angling for millennium profit. Here's ABC's Michelle Norris.
Even 409 days before the millennium, businesses are hoping that the turn of the century will turn into profits.
It is an entrepreneur's dream if you have the right product.
Never has there been such a rush to market so many products for a single event. It's a once-in-a-1,000-year business opportunity. The U.S. Patent and Trademark Office has been swamped with requests to market all kinds of things related to the millennium. More than 2,000 applications so far.
This is a clock that's counting down to the millennium. The days, the hours, the minutes, the seconds.
There's the patented Millennium Clock and the patented Millennium Candy.
About this Millennium Spokes Candy thing.
And, of course, champagne.
Official champagne of the Millennium Celebration.
There's a toothbrush for the millennium, millennium steaks, jewelry, toys, clothing, something for everyone from cradle to grave.
I would describe the Millennium Casket as a casket that represents a high degree of quality and workmanship.
That's right, a stainless steel casket for the millennium.
Your grandchildren are going to ask you, where were you when we went into the next millennium? So I think there's a tremendous feeding frenzy there.
Hats, all our apparel that you're looking at, chocolate bars.
Savvy entrepreneurs have registered millennial phrases, Y2K and 010100, the first day of the big year. Robert Guberman is a smart man. 5 years ago, he had the good sense to register a trademark for the year 2000 phrase. He and the lucky owners of other millennial trademarks, something anyone can apply for, are entitled to at least 8% from the sale of any product that carries their registered name. It's expected to add up to millions.
I still pinch myself when I get up in the morning and I say, you know, we really have it. We have that piece of paper that says we own it.
Still, it's too early to tell if millennial products will catch on.
Consumers are greeting the millennium with a big yawn.
But analysts say more consumers may catch millennial fever as the clock ticks closer to the big event. Michelle Norris, ABC News, New York.
Here's one for you. How do you spell millennium? We'll deal with that tomorrow. That's our report on World News Tonight. I'm Peter Jennings. Have a nice evening. Good night.